Guys, so right now, I have to fill you in. There's pups, there's pups. Look, we almost lost the pup. And he had aspiration pneumonia. You saw the episode where we talked about it a little bit, but I'm about to go pick him up from the doctor's office. And pray all is well. So he's made it back. We've got discharge papers. I think he's standing up tinkling now. He's on his 2 good feet. Look, let me tell you this. Super scary. Uh-oh, look at him fussing. Super scary when dealing with aspiration pneumonia. But so far so good. I'm about to go get him some Clavamox. What's up, man? About to go get him some Clavamox and some other medication to help manage it. I don't believe. The doctor said, hey, he's good to return back to his pups, brothers and sisters. Part of my concern, of course, clearly, is the fact that he's coming from an emergency situation. They could have parvo, so I do a little like quarantine thing. We're about to go get the medicine. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit more about medication. Shout out to Chris Moore, my guy at Bulky Built, for helping us get the medicine. He's my guy for that. And so stay tuned, because later we're gonna build a custom oxygen chamber, but also walk you through the process of how we make sure the pup stays safe if something like this is to happen. So we got to the place that basically it's got the plug. If you live in Texas and basically country rural areas, there's always a spot where you can go and get a lot of stuff that your dogs might need or just prevent. So we're going in here to get some gentamicin and some Clavamox and some Albon and something else that Chris put an order in for us. So again, shout out to Chris. He's my plug, and I got a couple vets that are plugs as well. And I felt it's like more expensive but cheaper because I can get it in a bigger jar, which you never know when you might need it again. And most medications last quite a bit. They last a little bit. So stay tuned as we show you how to do this and keep taking care of those dogs, people. Gentamicin sulfate solution. It's gonna help with making sure make sure that the dogs basically kills the bacteria in the lungs and helps manage the next few stage and days of the dog's overall quality of life. Albon, I'll have Chris break down what Albon does in case of pneumonia, aspiration pneumonia to be clear. And then I got some show sheen. So show sheen is something they use in the dog shows. If you're a show person, and they'll spray it on the dogs, rub it on the coat, and they have that coat popping like a Chris Brown song. So what we're going to do with the pups as they get bigger and we get them in front of this camera, I'll put some show sheen on them jokers, then they have that gleam, you know, that little bing in the cartoons. That's what's going to happen. So we're about to get back now, get a few more things so we can get these dogs zooted, cabooted, taken care of, and keep y'all up to date and educated on what's going on, what went wrong, and how we can do better. Guys, so I said we was going to finish the episode or do another episode where we show you how to make not a ghetto, but a think shift homemade oxygen container or tube. Now, Chris, couple questions. Look, make sure you guys can see Chris. This is going on the YouTube here. Chris, first question is this. Let's say you have one pup that's aspirated. We dealt with the pneumonia situation. Should you run all the dogs through this that may be in this litter?
No.
Okay.
And the reason why is, if you don't have to use antibiotics on an animal, don't use them. Because then they build up a resistance to them.
I see. So later in life, you could run it too.
There's a self-selection. They say by the book that they can't build up a resistance to it, but like most of your other medications, dogs can build up a resistance to it. So just be careful with it.
There you go. So guys, you heard it. You heard it there. Definitely don't want to overuse it, because that stuff will kill you. So I got this thing here.
Alright, where's the tube at?
Which tube?
They didn't come with a tube?
This tube?
No, that's the one that goes in your mouth. They should hook to something. They should hook to a tube.
I think that must be the upgraded model. Cause I literally just opened the box and it doesn't have a tube, so is there...
I told you to pick the second one. I don't know what that one is.
Ah, man, that means I gotta get the other one, people. I might use this one. I can't breathe my damn self. But at anywho...
You want to use gentamicin, you want to have butyrol.
Yeah, no. I'm not gonna put no drugs in my system. So look, objectively, people, if you got a dog that's having some aspiration pneumonia issues, you get gentamicin. I don't know. You call him, and he'll talk to you about that. You screw a hole in his.
Listen. This is the perfect perfect example right now, guys. Look, check it. I'm normally not like this, but check it. You have a nebulizer, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so go to Lowe's, take the mouthpiece to Lowe's, find a water hose that will fit the back side of the mouthpiece. A hose is a hose, bro.
There we go. Look.
I mean, listen, when I was a Marine, they would tell us to figure it out. When you was a kid, that's what they would tell you when you was young. When I was young, listen, what I look like. Your mom and dad figure that shit out. So just go to Lowe's, take the mouthpiece, and find a tube that will fit the back of the mouthpiece.
That makes sense. And then you can use basically.
You need to take it from. But see, you don't have the nebulizer that I showed you. It has like a little pouch, and it allows you to put the medicine in it. So I don't know what that is.
Ah, you mean this thing right here?
Oh, it's on top. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, it says, yeah, ACCs, 10 cc's, a couple of them cc's.
Yeah, CC and ml is the same thing.
Okay, so look, people, we're not going to tell you the exact measurements in this particular video. This is the pup that I'm calling Cassius Clay right now because he almost didn't make it, but he's on his back legs, standing, acting crazy because I put him in a little cage to, coming back from the doctor's office. I want to put him right back with his pups. We're going to get a tube. Chris said put the dog in something like this, seal it off objectively, and drill a hole.
You're going to put oxygen in it. You're actually putting oxygen with the nebulizer in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There you go. So it's giving the dog the opportunity to breathe still, even though you're like, yo, is that going to suffocate the dog? No. So.
You'll see it. You'll be able to see the oxygen or the air going into the container. You'll see it. You'll see the air.
Okay. Okay. And
it just looks like cold air. It looks like cold air getting blown into something. That's what it looks like.
And so he came off the treatment. How many days should I potentially do this since he's back breathing better?
Well, if he doesn't have any snot or not really congested, he should be okay.
Yeah.
But if he's really bad looking and he's got all that snot and that crust on his nose, I would do it still for about 3 or 4 days.
Okay, so 3 or 4. Now, mind you, you see he acting crazy, people. I said, look, he literally, I kid you not, I watched this dog take shorter and shorter breaths to the point where he couldn't do this. And within the 24 hours of them putting him in the oxygen chamber, he's back acting like a nut. He's standing on his back legs. He's doing things that the other pups aren't doing. It's actually fascinating if you think about it, because in isolation, it's like he's grown stronger.
What happens in life, man? When you figure out you got to make it, you're going to find a way to make it.
You heard, that's another point. That's another point. So a couple things, as you heard, you need some gentamicin if you have a dog that's dealing with congestion. I told you in the... Huh?
You giving them medication. Hey, I didn't say nothing about medication.
Well, don't give them medication unless they're...
Technically, they should be using albuterol. But albuterol is extremely hard to get, and it's pretty damn expensive. Where gentamicin is that's a lot cheaper, and it pretty much will do exactly what you need it to do.
There you go. There you go. And mind you, we'll get into more depth at times on this stuff right here. But this is how you make a homemade oxygen container. I'll do another full video on what it looks like complete. We don't have another dog dealing with this issue.
Let me see what you got. Let me see the box you got.
This one right here?
How big is it? Let me see the top of it now. That's big.
Huh?
I would get like a shoebox. You know how they sell the shoebox plastic ones?
Yeah, yeah.
I would get one something that size.
Ah, so you don't need no big old container for him to be rolling around in.
Yeah, the smaller the better, because you want that oxygen to fill the tank up faster.
I see. So
that big old tank is gonna take a long time to fill that thing up.
And now, mind you,
medicine is gonna dilute further and further.
There you go. So look, I actually got this for the we was just gonna use this one. I got this for a product we about to create. so I said, yo, grab that thing real quick. This right here is for something different, but now we don't get a clear shoebox, drill a hole. If you get the one like this that don't have the holes, and do you?
They sell it at Home Depot.
Yeah, exactly. Home Depot's got it too.
Like Lowe's or Depot, but like Walmart. Technically, you want it to be able to seal, like to seal it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It should be like a rubber gasket around it, but technically, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we're just trying to make it work so we can save the puppy's life.
Yeah, and mind you, this for me, people happen at about 2:30 a.m. Very.
Yeah, that's what people don't. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. You can still run to Walmart. You can get a damn shoebox. You you go to the vet at 4 o'clock in the morning, your vet bill went from $400 to $2,400.
It did. It literally did. I just got the receipt. It was like it's $40 an hour for oxygen alone. They're gonna give him 10 to 15 different drugs and test a bunch of things and X-rays. So you look up, they're like, hey, we just want, and they call you now. They're nice and say, hey, we want to let you know we had to modify the estimate a little bit. Want to see if it's okay. I'm like, what's the numbers now? Oh well, it's went from 600. We're hitting 8. Then like, well, we're thinking we need to finish the care, so we're gonna hit that top end estimate. That's what they call me every time. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I said, look, do what you got to do. Just keep him alive.
But he basically did exactly what I told you to do. Put him in an oxygen treatment tank, and they ran him on probably albuterol and put him on Clavamox.
Yeah. And these are things too. Now, Chris, would you say that these type of, we'll say drugs per se, are good to have on deck if you're breeding all dogs or more brachycephalic breeds?
I mean, I would say aspiration pneumonia happens it happens more common in the smash face breeds, but it can happen in any breed, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So, it's, medication that you should have on hand. I mean, if you've got 2 dogs, no, but if you've got more than 10, I would tell you.
And we have quite a few people. We have quite a few dogs. As you see, this one's harassing me something serious. So, look, we're going to do some more stuff. I'm going to get, we got the camera. We're going to get set up. I'm going to break this down a little better. As you see, this dog here is living his best life now. I kid you not. I was sweating like a hoe in church, trying to keep him alive because I just saw him his lung. He just kept getting more and more exhausted because he couldn't breathe. It's a real thing. But anywho, Chris, I appreciate you. I'll show you the finished product. We're going to come on.
Yeah, no worries.
We're going to come on here and teach you guys a little bit more stuff. And look, I'll hit your line later, all right? All right, peace.